Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time since I've made a YouTube video, and I'm talking like 5 or 6 months. I know it's about time that I updated things and made a new video. So, where I left off last time, I got my Farmall regular running on the E4A mag, and I wasn't able to get the last part of the video posted because my Wi-Fi was doing all sorts of weird stuff and I couldn't post anything. But I'm hoping you have that figured out now. So I have done a lot of work on this tractor the past like 5 or 6 months, and it does not look anything like it used to. And that is mainly because I ended up actually bringing the tractor to school and working on it and doing some cosmetic work and getting things fixed, and of course giving it a fresh coat of paint and some new decals and tires, and well, I might as well just show you then. Say hello to the new and improved 1928 International Harvester Farmall regular. Carburetor Farmall, yeah. And of course that's not the original tank, that's an F20 tank that I picked up at a yard. And I've ran it a little bit, enough to the point where this isn't high heat paint, so of course it's going to come off the manifold and the muffler a little bit. But yeah, here's the tractor. Brand new tires. McCormick Daring Gray on McCormick Daring Red, International Harvester Red. And she's a beauty. She is a beauty. E4A mag. Worked on that. Got that looking nice. More decals over there. Another decal there. Got the 2 decals on the back axle. Let's see if I can get around here. One there. One there. So there are the decals, and now I gotta tell you about these tires here. I put 11 236s on the rear and 6 16s on the front, and these were provided to me for free, yes, for free, by Titan International, Titan Tire. And the way I got them free, and a lot of people don't know this, but Titan Tire actually has a restoration program, and you can go through it either in FFA or 4-H, and how it works is you fill out an application, and you're eligible to let's see, you're eligible to get 1 complete set of tires for an antique tractor, 1 complete set of tires per lifetime. And of course I'm an FFA, so I cashed out on mine pretty much. But what you gotta do is you gotta go online, you gotta fill out the online application, and you have to have before pictures and in progress pictures, and then once you get the tires on and everything finished up, you have to send them an after picture. So of course I sent that in, and I ended up receiving tires. So if you're watching this video and you're an FFH or FFA, sorry, and 4-H, and you're wanting a new set of tires, you might want to look into that program. Talk to your ag instructor or whatever about it. So it's a pretty good deal. They're very nice people to work with. So yeah. So anyway, this tractor, I had it here at home, and then I ended up pulling it, or I loaded it up onto a tilt bed trailer and hauled it to my school's shop and did a lot of cosmetic work there. Mainly, you know, getting it clean was one hell of a project. If you paint one of these things, you have to get every single inch of dirt off of it, unless you want your paint to be peeling off in the place where the dirt's at. And I gotta tell you what, getting in all the nooks and crannies and everything with a pressure washer and or screwdriver and just taking off dirt, oh my goodness, I power washed this thing at least 3 or 4 times just to get it to be clean. But anyway, I did get it clean. Okay, so here's another thing. I replaced the radiator. I ended up buying a new one. Mainly because these two here, unfixable. Well, I guess the one farthest away, that one could be fixed, but I'd have to take the JB weld off that I tried fixing it with, because you can see on this original one, this one's the original one. My camera will focus here. Let's see if it will. But anyway, I'm trying to get it to focus. These tubes here are not completely anchored in. Like, you see some of the solder here. I tried soldering this one, and then I resorted to JB Weld, which also didn't work, because some of the tubes in the core itself have been punctured that I just couldn't get to. So I'm going to end up scrapping this one out, unless someone wants to buy it. But anyway, yeah, a lot of these tubes, on either one side or the other, sometimes both, the solder or the brass or whatever that was in there that filled up those, that kept the tube sealed in, wore out and is no longer there. So that's the case with this radiator and that radiator. That radiator over there would actually, I could still fix it. I mean, I have JB Weld on there right now. It'd be more of a temporary fix to get you by. But what I gotta do is, I missed some spots over there on that JB Weld job, and I'm gonna take some of that JB Weld off and just put silicone on it. So that's that. And that's if I really want to use it. And if someone wants to buy it from me, let me know. But anyway, new radiator core. I think I got this from Rice Equipment. Pretty sure that's where I got it from. Quite happy with it. So, what else have I done to this thing besides paint and put decals on? Oh yes, I got these cables here. I ended up getting these little side brackets from a junkyard from Stromp's Dump up in Spalding, Nebraska. And yeah, I got another cable over here, because this side originally, when I got it, didn't have one. So anyway, how these things work, how these cables work, and I've had people ask me about this, but how these cables work and what they're used for is to activate your brakes when you make a real sharp turn. Like, see, this spring over here is connected to the brake handle right there. You can see the end there, right up in here. And when you make a real sharp turn, this cable runs to this pulley here, and then it runs to this little deal here and connects to this shaft, and that connects to the steering shaft itself. So what happens is, you make a real sharp turn one way, and this will follow it, and it'll pull, oh gosh, how do I explain this? It'll pull that brake cable on the side that you're turning on, so it'll pretty much lock your brake, and you can make that real sharp turn. And it's actually pretty ingenious. But anyway, yeah, that's how that works. And then I ended up also on this, oh gosh, clutch pedal here. Gosh, I'm forgetting everything here. I ended up putting a washer here to keep the slop out of it. It's a lot better than it was anyway. A lot better than it was. But yeah, I got that. Oh, and these brackets here, they're not original to this tractor. They're for this F20 tank. But I ended up having to make a little bracket here so I can mount this smaller one, because originally a Farmall regular tank would have stood higher up than this F20 tank would. So I don't know. You'd have to compare an F20 and F20 brackets and regular brackets, but these ended up being shorter, or this front one did anyway. So I had to make that bracket to compensate for that loss of, well, you know. So anyway, what else here? Oh yeah, as you can see, I have some oil dripped out of this thing. Oil on the floor. Got some pans out. That's because I drained the transmission and refilled it full. I think this takes like, oh gosh, takes about 9 gallons. I want to say around 9 gallons to fill this thing. Surprising amount of oil. But anyway, what's happening here is a little bit is leaking right there. A little bit is leaking on the, let's see, little is leaking from there and up there on the input shaft of the transmission. I still need to replace that seal because I never did it before. But I need to replace that seal there. And under here there's just this mess of crap going along that bottom between the axle and the transmission itself. I never took that apart, and there must have been, I know there was dirt there originally, and that must have been what was holding that oil in before, because that gasket there is like shot. So unfortunate but true. I don't know how I'm gonna fix that though, because I really have no intention of pulling off this rear axle now, especially since I have this thing painted. So if I have to let it drip, I'll let it drip. That one I can fix. That one, that's just oil pan oil. That's normal for that. And obviously I've switched these pans around a little bit, so not all this oil is from one spot. But oh, and another thing, I ended up replacing the belt pulley packing, even though it still leaks, and the PTO packing, and that still leaks. But you know how that goes. You have a worn shaft, and sometimes packing doesn't do anything, but technically it should. But anyway, I got the air cleaner all cleaned out, put some oil in here, so that's good to go. Did a lot of carburetor work actually. I ended up replacing the seat in this carburetor mainly because it would just gush out of this gasket here between the carburetor and the manifold. It would just gush fuel. So I'm glad we got that fixed. And got the rims cleaned up. I ended up having to get these rear rims sandblasted because I don't know if you can see that pitting in there on that one, on both of these rear rims, because both of these rear rims sat a little bit below in the dirt when I got to it. So yeah, there's a little bit of pitting, but the rest of it is just beautiful. And we ended up having to just sandblast them, have someone else sandblast them, mainly because we did not want to deal with all of the rust buildup on the inside of the rims themselves. So we just pawned it off to someone else so they could do it. And honestly, they did a really good job. So yeah, the front rims though we did not send to get sandblasted. We just did those ourselves. So clean them up, or I cleaned them up myself. So yeah, I mean, not a whole lot else to tell you other than it's been a long project, and I think I've just about finally wrapped it up. Besides a few oil leaks, and I still have to come in some spots with touch-up paint, but other than that, it's pretty much complete. And let's see, got this welder home, little Lincoln 180 amp AC only welder, nice welder. Got that from my grandpa, sitting pretty much outside in the elements for darn close to 30 years probably. So I just threw whatever red paint I had left on that, and it does still work. So I got new wires for it and everything. I'm trying to think what else I can update you on. Actually, I can update you on a lot, because a lot of stuff has actually changed since I've made a YouTube video. I think what I'm going to do first though is clean all that stuff out of there from in front of the garage, and clean all this stuff out behind the tractor so we can pull this baby out and hear her run. And I'll actually be able to get to drive her around for you guys. So I'll go ahead and do that, and maybe I'll do some other updates first, I don't know, but we'll see when it comes to that. So I guess I'll be right back. Alright YouTube, here's the newest addition to the family right here. Say hello to the International 450A planter. And I got this off of my other grandparents' farm. Not the grandparents that I got my regular from, but my other grandparents. And yeah, here's the planter. The boxes are actually in the garage, and we planted sweet corn with this year actually, and it worked very well, very well. And we pulled it with the H, so there's that. And yeah, worked very well, except this chain here kept popping off. I need to take a link out of here, and I need to unclog some of these inlets here. I think it's these two, or maybe it's the other two. Yeah, the other two ones on those two there have crap in them, so we should have cleaned them up before we planted, so we have some spots that don't have corn. But anyway, yeah, here's the International Harvester 450A planter. And we're going to just move across here. Here's the old M. Here's the H. Here's my little New Holland S14 garden tractor I got from my grandparents. Surprisingly enough, this thing actually runs pretty well too. Worked on it for about a day. Put a new ignition switch in, new key switch, and a new ignition coil, or not a coil, starter solenoid, and pretty much did some rewiring, and it popped off like a top. So the only problem I'm having with it now is I need tires. I need to go replace a hose in the transmission and put oil in there, and then put all this back together, fix my steering wheel because I got smashed by the tree that came down over there, and then some cosmetic work on the hood, and otherwise it'll be a nice little tractor to have around. Little 14-horse Kohler motor, and it runs really nice, so can't complain with that. So, what else can I update you on? Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go move some stuff in front of the regular, and actually, after that, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna either take a look at the regular first, or take a look at it after we take the H, we hook it up to the planter, and we move this somewhere else, because this clearly cannot stay here because of all the grass that's growing, and we really need to trim here. So we're going to move it to a different location here on the land, so it can stay there for the rest of the year, up until we plant corn again next year. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move some stuff, and then I'll get right back with you. Alright, YouTube, now it's finally time to fire this thing up. I'll try and go through the procedure. First thing you want to do is in these tappets here and here, you want to put oil down them, because you have to manually oil your rocker arms, but I've already done that, so I'll spare you that. Now, see if I can set you up. What I gotta do though is I have to turn the gas on, and then I'm going to choke it for 2 half turns. I'm going to unchoke it, and then I'm going to activate the impulse, and then set my spark and my throttle. So first off, we're going to make sure it's out of gear. It is. Spark is all the way up for nothing, for stop. Throttle is all the way up for idle. And turn the gas on. Gotta check the gas first. I'm gonna choke it for 2 half turns. I'm going to unchoke it. Going to set my spark to half so I don't break my arm. I'm going to leave my throttle set to about there. Engage the impulse, and we're going to crank it. Up. first in. Down. Set this to reverse and let go of the clutch. Handbrake operating. See if I can hold the camera and do this. First gear. Fairly slow. Now we'll up the throttle a little bit. Sounds awful. Second here. Or maybe it's third. There we go. Put her in third. I believe this is third anyway. Yep. Like I'm running out of fuel, it sounds like. Bumpy. Take it back at first. And we'll idler. do a little finagling with that, but doesn't run too terrible. Well, there's that. That's not the best it's ran, that's definitely for sure. I'm gonna have to do some checking on here. I don't think I have my carb set right somewhere. But it's definitely cooler than that. So, go ahead and shut the fuel off. And I think we'll move to the H next and move that planter. So I'll get you one last shot of the regular. There she is. So there we go. Well, YouTube, ended up pulling this into this spot off camera, mainly because it was being a little difficult. So, well, got it moved at least by the chickens, the chickies. But anyway, it's not very far from where we have, but it's in implement row now. We'll use that again next year, and then we have. Yeah, we have the 4-row International 450A planter. We have something, well, it's a disc. I don't know what brand it is or anything. It's just a nice sized disc. This one, I'm guessing John Deere 2-row lister. And we got this working this spring, and we actually planted 4 rows of corn with it last weekend, since we didn't know what was wrong with the other one up until we found out after we planted that those, let's see here, these spouts here, the other, well, not that one and not that one, but the other two on the other side needed to be unclogged, so we use this 2-row lister to plant some corn. Snow blade, very nice. So much wood from this frickin' tree, and we're still cutting up wood, and we have so much that we don't need. Farmall M, we're using it today, and it blew a hose. This hose right here. Alright, YouTube, well, real fast, I wanted to go ahead and share a quick tip. When you're dealing with caps like these with this type of nut on it, and also like ones like this, you don't have to use a wrench to get that off, as I found out from learning from an old international mechanic. But the way that you're actually supposed to get them off is by using the hand crank. And just lining it up in the slots like that. That's how you tighten it, and that's how you untighten it. So, yeah, just something I thought I'd throw out there for people who didn't know that, because I certainly didn't. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start this up and move it back to the garage, and then I'll have to have someone pull me in. So, I'll just go ahead and I'll go ahead and just end the video here. So I hope you enjoy the video, and I'm back. I'm back for good this time, because I am sick of not making YouTube videos. So I'm ready to get back into it and share my progress, and I've got a lot of stuff lined up actually for projects. I just need to get them here. So, and I still have to work on that New Holland out there, and well, that'll be the next one. So I think all I have to do on that one is replace the tires, change out a busted hydraulic line, and fill the transmission with fluid, and get a seat, and then get the hood back together, because when that tree fell on it, it did some damage that I am going to fix, and get everything back together, and yeah, that should run just like a tank. So 1971 New Holland S14 garden tractor coming up next. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I'm back. So like, rate, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff if you want to, you know. Thanks for watching.